Hello and welcome to the channel. We are here today courtesy of Clipper Marine to have a look at this new, brand spanking new Bavaria SR33. So let us have a look on board. It's always lovely to see a boat out of the water because you can see the line of the hull. Fantastic, absolutely mammoth spray rail up here. Bow thruster in there. Lots and lots of hull glazing as well, beautifully styled in with this actually bit of black here, which we can't see because we're standing so close. I'll take a step back over here, you can see how beamy and bulky she is. Now there are engine options from Mercruiser to Volvo Penta. This particular one has Volvo Penta, and you can see we've got a couple of duoprop Volvo Penta legs on here, a couple of decent sized trim tabs from Bennett, and underwater lights. And you'll also notice that effectively the engines are cut in to give you slightly more bathing platform and a bit more buoyancy at the back of the boat. So let us go and have a look on board. So here you go. Once we are on board, first we're met with this absolutely fantastically deep, wide bathing platform that runs right the way across. It also gives you quite cleverly side access, a sneaky side access up through to the port side deck. And you can see absolutely vast sun pad here, which for out of interest, that cushion can flip the other way, which we'll have a look at in a moment. And then this is your main access point forward, a deck shower down there, cleats in here, two recesses there to put the ladder in, and then very stylish little gate there. Again, great to see grab handles on here, and I think also underneath here we have, bear with me while I open this, decent size locker for ropes and mooring fenders and the like, and equally I suspect somewhere to throw your life raft. Just shut that back down. We'll head aboard. So a little step up here takes you through, and again just I'll pivot around, that then gives you access to the side decks, fuel cock in there or fuel filler in there, lovely stainless grab rail, another stainless grab rail up the top here. We're not going to go too far forward because we are in the air, but you can see big sunroof there, which we'll have a look at in a moment, and then plenty of room forward. As you can see, sun cushions here, foredeck hatch, right the way forward here. We then have our anchor handling gear, lots of beautiful stainless chain, and a very, very deep locker, and the water filler there as well, windlass, beautiful stainless anchor chain. So that is our deck locker. Quick peek back, gives you an idea of the size of that single piece windscreen, and then we have matching side decks on both sides. So we will take a little scoot back, being mindful that we actually are up in the air. I will just change hands here for the sake of it. While we're here, look, you can see there's your TV aerial and your Simrad GPS transmitters and receivers. Back into the saloon area, and I'm just going to pop this seat back the other way so you can see what it looks like in dining mode. And if I come all the way back here like that, you can see absolutely vast dining area. You'll also notice we looked up top, you can see this big hardtop runs right the way back almost to the end of the table, and you can then fill in that entire section here with an extension to this canvas. Then over on this side we have a little bit of storage in here, down below there. This one is then the fridge, pretty standard fridge in there like that. A little bit of sort of teak top to this lift up section, which then hides a ceramic hob, very nice stylish moulded sink with pop up tap, but just so nicely put together. As I say, if we take a step back here, I'm fairly confident in suggesting that that table will drop down and infill to give you another sun lounging area, or another bed if you like. Access to the engines is down there. We'll have a look on our way out. And I think also you can lift that cushion out if you want to go that way around the side deck without going onto the aft pontoon. And then there's storage underneath all of these seats. So we take a little look forward to the helm station. We're going to actually go port side first. Little companion seat here, and then an absolutely fantastic sun area up here. Now obviously that is logically designed to give you room down below in the aft cockpit, in the aft berth, sorry. But you imagine with this vast sunroof open, let's open it now, on a sunny day, which it blatantly isn't here today in Swanwick, lying on that sun lounger, maximising the sun as it comes through this truly spectacular sunroof. I'm just going to wait for it to open. So even now it's already made it brighter, and you imagine sunny day, sun streaming in here, absolutely fantastic. And also quite cleverly, before we move on to the helm station, they've taken the door and run it all the way forwards. That does two things. First of all, it helps the light flood down from the sunroof into the cabin area. It also means when you're going down the stairs, you're much less likely to bang your head. So if we swing over to the helm station here, so down here you can see there's a little pop-up footrest, pop-up bolster as well. And here we have the controller. So effectively that controller controls that glass bridge screen we've got there with those two SIMRADs in. The idea being, if you're in the helm seat, you're not having to lean all the way forward to touch the touch screens. You can sit back here in the seat and control the knob accordingly. Forward of that we have the Volvo Penta IPS joystick controller and the twin throttle and gear selectors there. Also with that we have a bow thruster, trim tabs, mobile phone wireless charger, USB rocket adapter. This is interesting actually, this is the SIM cards for the navigator sitting there. Volvo Penta controls, we've already spoken about the two SIMRAD glass bridge screens. Switches for lights, sunroof and alike, and then the Webasto heating down there, little footrest, and the rather lovely Bavaria stainless steering wheel. So I am actually just going to pause for a moment and shut the roof because it is not the brightest day here today and it may well rain. So this has only recently been launched. I think this was launched at the Southampton boat show this year, so that's 2000 or last year, 2023. So beautiful sliding door here, which as I mentioned earlier has a big cutaway, making it really easy to get yourself down below decks. And they've done something slightly differently on this SR33. As you can see, they've left the forward berth or the forward cabin open. I think I'll just take my shoes off actually. I think they call that loft living, I do believe. But the idea with that is it does make this area much more open. So if I come in here and take a step back to the aft cabin door, you can see there's a lot more room. Now if there was a bulkhead across the end of that bed, it would make this area feel much smaller, and you would then be left with a much smaller bed. And as you can see here, this is a very large bed. Don't tell Ben, but I'm actually going to lie on the bed just to give you an idea. So I'm just over 1.7 meters, and it's an incredibly wide, and I can easily, again, I'm sitting up in bed, I'm 1.7 meters, there's still tons and tons of headroom. So this is a very spacious boat. I will just scoot off the bed, and again, even on a dark day like today, because of these hull windows, it's letting in tons and tons of light. Hatch above the bed as you would expect, and also a clever option if you option there to completely close that bed area off at night if you want to. I believe you can also convert this into another berth, although I'm not completely convinced that that would be big enough. And actually while we're here, obviously there's storage underneath the bed here as well, and also access to the bow thruster and the bow thruster battery. A little bit of storage in the recesses with the reading lights over there, and again a little bit of storage space dropped in underneath the windows. So a few steps backwards takes us into the sort of dinette area over here. Storage under the dinette on that side. Again, access, or not access, but light coming in through those hull windows. Then down here we have the SIMRAD VHF. And over here we have the control panel for the battery, Fusion stereo system, light switches and the like. And then over on the starboard side we have the little galley. Now bearing in mind there's a big galley upstairs, this is very much a sort of internal galley. So again, another stainless sink with a mixer tap, a little bit of recessed storage over there. Again, access and light ventilation through that hull window. A little bit of storage above us here. And below us here we have a second fridge, internal fridge, and then just the rest of it here, I think this one's a bin, and then just general storage across here, and a little bit of shelving in there. Now if I spin round, you'll notice again a lot more storage down there under the electronic units, and cupboards above the window there. And there are two doors. One is to the heads in here, which is shared across both these cabins. But again, really nice. First of all, nice to see a full length mirror. And then it's also nice to see down here we have storage. It's quite nice. But on this side, very cleverly, we've got access to all the plumbing systems, which is really thoughtful. Very stylish porcelain sink. Opening port light again for ventilation, and then up here we have more storage for your bathroom bits and pieces. And cleverly they've put the loo in the shower. Obviously that does mean you can't shower and use loo at the same time, but it does mean you get much more cabin space. Little shower up there, has got a proper perspex door in there, but just gives you a really decent amount of space, because otherwise if you had a bigger heads and a separate shower, that would be eating into this entertaining space we have here. So as I mentioned, there is more storage down here. I won't open every cupboard because you pretty much know what a cupboard's like. And there is also quite cleverly a forward piece of glass in that superstructure, which again helps the light flood in here. And behind this door we have the aft cabin. Nice big little nice little seat there to sit on, quarter berth. Again, benefiting from the light that would come in and the ventilation you can get from that opening port light. There is storage in the form of quite a decent actually sized wardrobe. Let me put my light on. Decent sized wardrobe in there. And a very, very large double berth under here. Now obviously it is pretty chock-a-block down here because we have all of the foredeck cushions in here, and some of the other cushions that make up the aft cockpit sun lounging area. But you can see it is decent, it is big. There is, again, if I do my usual thing, standing headroom. I'm 1.7 m, standing headroom in the entry to the cabin, and then it does cut down away underneath the berth, but you have got a window that side and reading lights and 12-volt power, which is really rather lovely. So we then head out and we will go and have a look at the engine bay. So here we go, nice and easy. But in simple terms, if you want to use this as a bit of a service hatch, you can do. So let's go and have a look in the engine bay. So nice and easy because it is a decent hatch, and there's a little ladder in here to help us down in, straight onto this nice piece of tread plate. And it is surprisingly well illuminated in here. So on this particular variant we have a couple of Volvo Penta D4 300s. Now you can choose Mercruisers as an option if you wanted to, and again in the same format you can choose a higher or bigger Volvo Pentas, and they range from 500 to 700 horsepower really depending on what you want. And you can even have I believe a single Volvo Penta 380 horsepower, although I can't imagine that would be a particularly quick boat. I will put the performance figures for these engines in the spec below, but really neat and tidy down here. Looks like a Fisher Panda generator over there, not sure. Domestic batteries down there, engine batteries over there. Fuel tank is behind us, this massive great big stainless steel thing. Fuel water separators there, lots and lots of electronics over there. But it's just, and look at the size of the engine stringers. Look at the size of these. And obviously you can now see, we looked at that bulkhead when we looked at the drives, you can see that bulkhead carries forwards. So it just gives you a bit of, brings the weight of the engines further forward, but also gives you a bit more deck space at the back. And then over here we have the hot water system, fire suppression system. So beautiful, lovely engine bay. I do like an engine bay. So there you go, we will climb out of the engine bay. We will say thank you very much to Ben and the team at Clipper Marine for letting us have a look around. Do hope you've enjoyed that tour. Do please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time round. Thank you very much for watching.